Hey guys, welcome back to How to HPA Part 2. By now, from my first video that did pretty well, you guys should know how to set your bottle up by putting your reg on the top, and you guys should also have an idea of how to adjust your regulator as well, but we're going to go through that in just a second. So I'm going to show you what types of things you can hook your HPA bottle up to and how to do it. So you need your HPA bottle with your regulator already attached, which we've seen in the last video, as well as your line. First thing you're going to want to do is pop your line onto your bottle, just like this, preferably the right way around. Then you need to find what kind of replica you're running on your game day. So I've got two with me today to show you, so I'm going to show you the difference. This is my MP7 from Tokyo Marui with a HPA adapter. So this is one that runs off an adapter. And then we're also going to be looking at my custom build that you guys have seen going on in previous videos. This is my Article 1 to MTW build, which we're going to go over as well. You can hear in the background all the special effects going off Blackstone CQB, so hopefully I'll give you an even better idea of how cool this place is, because that's just the special effects they run inside on their games day. Now, before you do anything else, you do need to make sure both your guns are prepped. So for gas blowback weaponry, I do recommend that before you use them on every game day or after you've used them on every game day, so either before the next one or after the one that you've used it for, re-lube everything. I'm going to hopefully do a very quick video today on how to take this down for a field strip, so ergo you could take it apart at a game site, and I'm going to prove that by doing it here at Blackstone CQB. Be effectively how to take this apart, strip it, lube it, and then get it ready for the next game. Because if you do run these for multiple games using just high pressure air, or for example if you had a CO2 based weapon which uses CO2 cartridges, because there's no added lubrication, these guys will eventually dry out or have kind of maintenance or running issues. So I'll show you how to do that in another video for lubing this, but what you need to do is before you do anything, gas blowback, make sure it's lubed, or you lubed it after your last game day. For HPA engine guns, obviously this has no moving parts, you don't have to lube it, although you should have really a yearly maintenance on them if you want to preserve them and use them long term. There's plenty of places to do yearly maintenance. I wouldn't suggest doing a yearly maintenance yourself unless you're very, very good at what you do, just because it's a bit of a risk. But before you can use something with a HPA engine, because it runs off of, most of them run non-mechanically, they're electronic, you do need to plug in your tiny little HPA battery here. That goes into the grip. So there's one drawback with gas blowback. You don't have to have batteries or anything, it's all mechanical. With HPA, you do need a battery still, unfortunately. And that just sits in the grip of your replica, like so. Awesome. Now we're going to take you over to the range in just a second, and we'll show off how to hook up to your gun, and then what it's like with it running, so you guys get an idea of the differences between a HPA engine and gas blowback. Did miss a part here that I said I would do. This is your regulator, of course, with the line attached. Before you actually start blinking away, you need to set this properly. So you'll have your dial here, it's on your regulator, and then your dial at the top, and you'll need to use a regulator key like this to adjust it. Now, I know that my guns work at about 80 PSI for both of them. Now, varying limits there, but for today we're not looking at PSI, kind of stuff like that. On your game day, what you're going to be doing is going up to your marshals that are taking your chrono, plugging your gun in with it, preferably on maybe even 0 or at the lowest, like 80 PSI, and then twisting the valve on the top until you reach your desired PSI. So for my case, I'm just going to turn the top here, and you'll notice the valve will actually move up until I hit about 80, which is about there. And that should work now for both guns. Now you take this off, and then before you start a match, what Marshall will do is after you've set your, you've gone through chrono, your gun's not firing hot, they'll attach a tournament cap onto the top, and then they'll put a cable tie through this to make sure you can't adjust it during gameplay. Now what I like to do at this point is stick my tank in a backpack, or you can put it on a belt or a holster or whatever. Then we can head over to the range now and show you how to hook it up and how to fire your first shots. So now this bit is going to be a bit harder for me to show because we're at the range right now. So we're in one of the range bays right here, but I'm going to turn the camera around. Hopefully you guys will see the MP7 here. So what you're going to do is, I already have this connected, so I'm going to disconnect it for a second. Let me tilt this slightly further back up so you can see better. So you're going to take the end of your line and you are going to attach it into the back of your gun. Now what I recommend is making sure that there's no BBs in the barrel, making sure that the gun is not cocked. With some gas blowbacks, if you plug in a HPA line while it is cocked or stuff like that and it's not quite ready for you, it can push things into the wrong place, or in some cases it can just vent all of your air out where it shouldn't, like that, okay? Because with this, what it wanted to do was cycle just then, because I click the trigger and it forced forward. So hopefully now, if I stick it back onto safe and then plug it in now, it should not do the same thing. Perfect. Awesome. So then you're going to take your magazine. This is the gas blowback, and obviously we've got our magazine here. We're going to plug that into the bottom like so. If I get it the right around. These mags are a bit stiff because I have just painted them. There you go. And now we can cock the action. It's not unsafe, and we can fire away. And hopefully you guys can get an appreciation just for how this works. If I switch over sides here, sorry if this is a little bit loud, you can see the bolt and the action all move inside of the gun as a gas blowback would. That's how you connect it all up. Now, to make sure it's safe, what I like to do is drop the magazine, fire until it no longer fires any rounds. Now it's clear, okay. Now most sites will make you drop your adapter, which means you might have to take the full adapter out of the bottom of your gun. Now your gun is completely safe, this can't fire anymore if you really want to test it. Can't do anything, okay, stick that back on safe, and then you can disengage your line from your HPA adapter. So that is what gas blowback's like. That's how to set them up, how to use them safely. We'll go over onto the HPA engine. So for HPA engine rifles, you always have to kind of treat these as if they're live because there's no cocking handle, and as soon as you put a magazine in, it will automatically start to feed BBs into the weapon. Now after your first shot, the weapon will be live because then the first BB is fed into your hot chamber. What I suggest doing is plugging your riff in first. So with this one, let me just turn her upside down for you again. There you go. Plug your riff in first, no magazine, no nothing. Okay, plug it in just like so. Now what I would also suggest doing is before you take your riff out to a game day, to make sure it is clear so that you're going onto site empty, just take a few shots at home with it hooked up. As you can hear there, nothing coming out, which means it's completely clear. So once we've done that, we then can do the next part with the fun part, stick the magazine in. And with a HPA engine gun, this thing gets spicy pretty quick. Now you can probably hear that the the feed rate is much higher. You're not having the kind of the space between shots. This is a particularly fast gun, being a HPA engine gun. Put it on binary here. Okay. Is incredibly quick. So whereas gas blowback is more realistic, HPA engine's less realistic, faster trigger response, faster fire rate. This is the build that I've been doing in my videos, so if you want to see how we made this, it started off as an Article 1 and is now being built into an MTW. Get an idea by watching other videos on my channel. Now, again, to make this clear, the way I like to do it is disengage the magazine. Now, because of how a lot of HPA engine guns work, there are still BBs in the chamber, so what you want to do is turn the gun upside down, feed a couple of rounds. Well, if it's not unsafe, see, this is safety here. Fire until it's got nothing in it, then disengage your line, and that gun is now perfectly safe. Okie dokes. Now, for pack down, you've done everything you need to do. If you've finished firing your gas blowbacks at this point, again, lube them up, get them ready for your next game day, clean them if you need to as well. And I'll be doing a guide for that for the MP7 soon. For the HPA engine gun, the main thing with these is just making sure they're clear before you pack them away, and remember to remove the battery. Don't leave it in long-term storage with the battery included, or otherwise you may damage your gun long-term by leaving the battery in, because again, if your battery explodes because it goes to below empty, it's not a good time. On that note though, hopefully that's been useful for you. That's literally start to finish, the differences in what you can HPA from gas blowbacks to HPA engines, how to use everything and how to do it all safely for those of you at home. If you've got any questions, please pop it in the comments section. If not, I will see you in the next one.